Fearless Audio S8 Pro. There's several models in the Fearless Audio series, and if you're trying to like catch up or figure out what the fuck's going on, let me do my best real quick. All of their items up until the S6 Dewey are good, except the start. I don't like that one on the S series. It just sounds really bad. But all the other ones sound really good and quite similar. The S6 Dewey is the one that took the one that was September, October, November, December, January. 5 months of DM6 being number one in my book. And the first thing that took the cake was the S6 Dewey. What was quickly taken away from that was the S8 Freedom, which best way for me to explain without using music, because that's I'll do that when I do the review, but I'm explaining something to you guys. Obsessive compulsive disorder has lots of manifestations and how it displays itself. I walk into a restaurant and the picture is not balanced, like a restaurant, or I'm going to spend my money, and somebody who was cleaning up tables and getting the shop ready couldn't straighten the picture. And now I'm looking at the picture instead of thinking about food. And I leave. And my chick's like, what the fuck? And I'm not, if they can't balance the picture, I don't trust them with the food. And she's like, you're nuts. And that might be the case. But OCD is triggered like that. Triggered in the past 6 months has become like a different word. It's not... OCD is literally triggered. Like you don't have it and then sudden bam, somebody like wipes their face and then reaches out to shake your hand and you're suddenly in this zone, like bacteria, like that. The audio version of that is when I know a song really good and I listen to earphones and I'm not hearing something I know is there. And then I start to go back and start to play with stuff and find out why I'm not getting that. And instead of listening to music, I'm listening to like musical moments. So I'm not listening to music. I'm listening to a sonic rally pull is what I call it. I know it's there. I'm listening for it, and I can't get it. I start to stress. The S8 Freedom was the one that just played back like the S6 Dewey, but was just chock full of info. And I never replayed a song. I just went from song to song in my library with just total pleasure because everything was there. Vocals were, these got like that little dip. Vocals are perfect. They're absolutely fantastic. So the S8 Freedom was the one that was like, holy shit. And I got a sparkly green one. And I see people with like the Van Gogh, like picture, like the blue and the yellow one and the red wood, and I'm just super jealous because I get these for free, but I don't get to pick it, for not even first world problems, like super upper first world problems. So I'm not bitching, but I love the S8F so much that I saw the like Van Gogh version. I was just like, shit, I want that. Like I want to buy another one and have the one that I want instead of the one that I got. And we're 3 minutes, 36, 7, 8 seconds in, and now I'm going to explain to you what the fuck I'm holding in my hand in the title of this video. This is the Pro. And the Pro is supposed to be, in my mind, and I think other people's, like more... the term Pro indicates like a more like this. That is what you would think with Pro. That's what I would think with Pro. That's what the S6 Pro is. That is the S6 Pro graph. This is the S8 Pro. So the S8 Pro is giving a playback that is similar to the S8 Freedom, but it sounds to me like the Freedom has more micro details. I'm listening to this and thinking, and then doing what OCD does, which is going back and listening to stuff, because I'm thinking I should be... this should be different or maybe better, and then it's not. So if you are holding off and thinking which should I get, if you like something that is perhaps maybe a little more less intense, I guess is the way that I could put it. Tap tap. This maybe would be the thing for you. I think it sounds good, and I think it's really difficult to tell the difference between this and the Freedom, but the Freedom sounds like it's got insane micro details. the kind that makes a person that has trigger OCD moments all the time, not trigger at all. Like play the music, listen to it, play the next song like normal people do. That's what the S8 Freedom does to me. The S8 Pro seems to lack a little bit of that. But maybe that's the goal. But the graph looks like the other one, but it doesn't sound like the Freedom. It really doesn't. To me, it's not as good because I'm all about the stuff that other people might get fatigued by, which is all of the teeny little, the sound of the finger going up the string on the Gordon Lightfoot track. Those little things that I'm expecting to happen, and I move along mentally and with the track and then into the other track. So this is how my brain works. I think it's a good thing actually for this hobby because I'm going nuts on little things. And what the rare item that gives me the little things lets me chill and enjoy the music, which is something that is very rare in this hobby because I listen to stuff that doesn't quite get there, and this would be one of those things that doesn't quite get there. I think it sounds good. I think it sounds really good. If I were to pick this or the Freedom, I'd pick the Freedom. There's a politeness to this that I can't explain. That I'm not wanting the politeness. I'm wanting the in-your-face sound of the Freedom. So if you wanted something maybe less intense, then this might be what you're looking for. The treble is not fatiguing. It's the same as the Freedom. The mids are about the same as the Freedom. It's just micro T-tail, and the only way that I can explain that to you guys is like OCD, and that might not make sense to some of the people. I am a slave to my brain, like we all are, but it's really clear with OCD. And if I don't hear certain things in music, I trigger. I start to go back to what I was listening to again. Like, did I miss that? And push it in my ears and do all the little stuff and try again. What's the problem? And did I do this? Or like I start to stress and not enjoy the music. Some people said you should chill and like take a break. No, it's got nothing to do with that, man. It's just the way that this works. Once I've discovered a certain quality of playback, which the Legend X by Empire Ears gave me, I guess I use my brain uses that as a marker, and anything that doesn't reach that, I'm either excusing because it doesn't cost $2,300, or I'm looking for it because I know it's there. Like that finger slide on the string that's very subtle, and it's while he's singing. I'll find the moment for that for you guys sometime, and you can hear that finger up the string sound. He's just moving his hand up. That's all he's doing. He's not even touching. He's just sliding his hand up to grab another, to pull the next note. And I know that that's there, and the Freedom gives me that, and this is not giving me that in the same way. It's beautiful. It sounds very good. I think it's very nice. I think it's got polite. The graph doesn't reflect that at all. A sound that's slightly more polite than the Freedom. It hasn't changed. I thought, because I'm an EX1000 fan, that maybe this was going to appeal to that part of me. And I listened to this and I listened to the Freedom and I went back and forth. And then after I did the graph for the S6, I said, and then I listened to S6 and bam, it's just like it looks. It's got a very, very stable bass to mids. Things sound like they do on a EX1000. On the S6 Pro, not the S8. So this is a video for the S8 Pro, but I'm going to say I still wreck the S8 Freedom over this. It's 8BA. It's made by the same company. They blow my mind. That lattice work on the Acme is just nuts. No, you're talking about auto power off. So I had OCD triggering with this set, and with the Freedoms I don't. As a matter of fact, when I put the Freedoms in my ear, and some of that is like in my brain, I just am totally chilling with the Freedom. I don't know. It's hard to explain. Satisfaction is what height and depth. What the fuck? How do you quantify and articulate that? It's difficult, except to say the triggering does not occur with me. And he's a mental case. That might be true. That could be true. But I'm a music lover, and I want to enjoy the music, and I can't do that unless it's playing in the fashion that I expect it to be played. Anything less than that causes varying levels of stress. And this gave me a little bit of stress today. And I didn't get it. When I put the Freedom in my ear, it's like, yeah. And when I put this in my ear, I'm like, yeah, it's close. It's not the same, though. I wrecked the Freedom over this. So this is the S8 Pro. I'm going to do a video with both of them, and I'll go through the library and explain the moments in the tracks where I feel like this sounds good and the Freedom sounds better. So this is really this is an extended intro of this set. I think the more important will be when if I do all my tracks and do with this, I don't know that you're going to get it, because it's much easier when I have the two in the video, and I'm saying on this track this sounds like this, but at this moment I hear a string, I hear a finger sliding up a string on this set, which would be the Freedom, but I'm not hearing on this. So you can get a better idea of what the fuck I'm talking about when I'm saying this does something and this doesn't do, or vice versa. That just seems to appeal to a lot of my viewers more when I'm doing a comparison, because they can kind of get like when I did the sound demos, some people would get it all the time, not because they would knew the set, but because they checked the internet, they checked the graph, they knew that the cymbal might have like an extended sound, like a splash instead of a crash, and based on just that single point, they would say, I think that this is that one and not the other, because that's what the graph says, and they were right every single time. So there is that. So do I recommend this set? No, I don't. I recommend the Freedom. Is the Acme gonna take the cake? I won't share the graph with you yet, but it doesn't look like it will. But it looks like it's got mammoth bass, the Acme. So that's a little preview of that. Next video is going to be this versus the Freedom, though, because the Freedom is still the king of the Fearless. So for this company, if you want to get the S6 Dewey, that's dope. And then if you want to get something that is audibly better, it would be the S8F, and it wouldn't be the Pro, in this reviewer's opinion. I can't even say reviewer about myself, because it just doesn't seem to be true. Like, I'm a reviewer. I'm definitely not a YouTuber, because I got a job, and I'm not a reviewer. I'm a music lover, and I'm evaluating gear based on my opinion. Where are we now? 13 minutes. That's plenty long. So, really nice set. Don't recommend it. Why would you? Because the same company is making the Freedom. Free yourself. You get it? No? Okay, never mind. I'm out. And you'll be seeing this one soon, which is the S6 Pro, which is the first Pro graphed, Pro sounding, because I listened to it today, IM by this company. Everything else sounds like varying levels of absolute fucking spectacular awesomeness. This is not taking the crown. No. That's still the S8F. And I'm out. Shelling my name to be precise, ripping mics is the light of my life. You frontin' like you trifle, never